Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Week 6 College Football Pregame Show. And I'm Mr. Mini Hats. Let's quickly recap last week. Last week, I opened up the playbook a little bit. I put 15 plays out, 7-1, okay, and lost a couple of close ones, a couple games by half a point. A couple of games could have went our way, but 7-1. But we went, I believe it was 5-2 on the second half plays. So the second half plays picked us up. So it was overall it was 12-9 overall. So what is that? 5-2 on the second halves and 12-9. That's what it was. 12-9 overall. So not too bad. So let's quickly recap and see what we had. We had Eastern Michigan minus 14 against Kent State. That was easy. Well, it wasn't easy. It was at the end. It was easy. They pulled away. Kent State actually played them a little bit for the first half, and I didn't see the game, but I knew they weren't going to have much to contend. We lost Stanford over 58 minus 05. The game landed on 54, and they had a chance to go up at the end. This is one of those games that we easily could have won. I mean, we missed the total by 4 points, and Stanford turned the ball over 3 times in the red zone, inside the 20. I think with one of them being a pick in the end zone. I think all 3 of those red zone turnovers were inside the 10, 15-yard line. So they started picking up the scoring in the second half, but I mean, Clemson, they didn't really have to do anything. They were kind of in cruise control after they got up 2-3 scores, and Stanford, they just kept turning the ball over. I was disappointed. I thought they put up. I said in the video last week that Clemson should get 45 and Stanford should get the rest. But Clemson got 40. And Stanford only got 14. So I mean, anything out of Stanford or just one more score from Clemson, we could have got it. But we took the L, so we lost that one. Another close one. This is about as bad as you're gonna get. Duke minus 2.5, and we're down 20-0 on the road in the middle of the third quarter. Can you believe that? And we come all the way back and win the game 21-20. I mean, I don't know what's the exact percentage. If you ever say, hey, I'm laying 2.5 and I'm down 20-0 and I come back and win the game, most of the time you're going to be able to say that I covered that 2.5. So that's a little bit disappointing for them to come all the way back and we got screwed with the crooked number. At one point, it was 20-14, and they went for it on fourth down. I was really hoping that they can kick the field goal to make it 20-17, then get the ball back and tie it up at 20, and so we can get off of that crooked number. But we got this game actually closed Duke +1 or +1.5. I saw there was a lot of money coming in North Carolina, so. I mean, we gave out 2.5, but obviously if you got this late, the sharp money, they were betting North Carolina heavily that it went all the way through to 0, and you could have got a plus with Duke and come out with the win with this. So that's one L that would take a real sour L, but we have to take it. That's it is what it is. The next one, we won with SMU minus 6.5. They just they beat Florida State like they stole something, just like they said they would at home. It really wasn't a game in the second half. They blew the doors open, just like I said they would, and it was pretty self-explanatory. They were betting Florida State. this line went down to 5.5, and it creeped back up to 6. But you didn't see any more 6.5s after I bet it. So they were betting Florida State, and they lost. Next one we had was Kentucky plus 17.5. This game Saturday I saw 14.5. So there was a 3-point line move, and they were betting the hell out of Kentucky. And we got 17.5. The 14.5 was good, and they beat Mississippi outright. And I knew this game. I said this game is going to be a lot closer than what they think. And these SEC type of games, and these are the games that Kentucky gets up for. These games that when they play Georgia and these type of games, and I just knew that. And they brung it, and they beat them outright. And whoever took that money line, they got a pretty nice hit for the day. You know, that's kind of sticking your neck out to do that, but these things, they do come in, so that's why you got to play them. You play them long term, and you know, like I said, you just got to hit a few of them. That's going to cover all the ones you lost anyway. So that was easy. Boise State over 63. That was a strong play, and they got it on the last play. And Boise, they didn't even really need to score, and they just got it just for the hell of it. Oh no, Washington State did that. Washington State scored. Yeah, that's right. Well, Boise, they would have nailed on the Washington State. They was trying to score, and which is what they should be doing. First of all, to get us the over and get the win. But you know, you need even if you're getting blown out in the game, finish the game and score and make a nice drive and take that to the next game. And that's what they did, and they got us the over. Next one was Sam Houston State. Like I said, they were down 20 points at one point. They were down big early, and they came back and beat them outright, and they were getting 8. And so should have been a strong play. So that's the second dog that I had last week that just won outright, Kentucky and Sam Houston. So that's when you talk about how you measure results. I've had several dogs that won outright this year already. I mean, when you're picking dogs, and I'm talking about significant dogs and double-digit dogs, close to double-digit dogs. Not no small dogs. I'm talking about touchdowns or better, and they're winning outright. That means that you're picking pretty good. So Fresno, we took an L with that one. Playing UNLV with the Sluka, that quarterback, announcing that he's going to sit out because he didn't get his $100,000. And to be honest with you, that was kind of a cookie jar bet, which I kind of try to stay away from those bets, but I put it out there. And I said there was another guy on UNLV that had the same issue. So there were a couple of guys having issues with getting paid, and I thought there was going to be all this bad juju, and I was wrong. I mean, this guy, the quarterback, I don't know his name, the brother, he looks better than Sluka. I mean, he can run, what is he doing on the bench? He looked good, I mean, the guy. And they came out and they steamrolled Fresno. But I wasn't the only one. There was some sharp money coming in on Fresno. And UNLV, they started betting UNLV late. But yeah, the guy looks good. So that Sluka, he wants to sit out for $100,000. Well, hey, next man up. I mean, he looks strong, and I like UNLV now. What I see, so we took an L with that one. North Texas over 68.5. We got that one on the last possession. Game started out real slow too, and they just started scoring in the second half and did exactly what we needed to get the over. North Texas, they never seen an over that they didn't like, and I'm going to keep betting them over until they prove me otherwise. Louisville plus 6.5, went to 7 late, and that's exactly what they lost by 7. And I believe late they had the ball, and they were down 7, and they had a chance, and they did a turnover or something. Hey, could we have ever gotten 7 during the week? I don't think so. I saw 7 Saturday morning. Was there any 7s hanging Friday had we waited? Some people tell you that if you got 6.5, try to wait until you can see if you can get a 7, because if it goes to 6, that move is not, that cost that you're taking is not as much as you could potentially gain from getting a 7. So we could have pushed, but I'm not going to cry about it. I gave out 6.5, and they lost by 7. So that's one of the games that I was talking about. We could have easily pushed on that, and that couldn't have been a win. Another game that we had that was a bad beat, we had Boston College -7 first half, and the quarterback got hurt, Costello. He got hurt, and they still won the game, down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They won by 1, but they didn't cover the 7 first half, and they should have lost the game. So, I mean, stuff like that happens. I tweeted about that. I can't say, well, this one doesn't count. I mean, I gave the bets out on Tuesday. People are betting, and he gets announced out Thursday, Friday, even Friday it was. I can't say, well, this one doesn't count. I mean, you already put the bets in. Sometimes this can happen in your favor. And so it's a bad beat. But as I said in the other video, usually people who complain constantly about bad beats and this and that are usually people who lose long term, because they never talk about the good beats. And sometimes they can go in your favor. Like I said, what if I was on Western Kentucky and this happens and I get a point spread move like that in my favor, and I win with it? Excuse me. This mask, wow. If I win with it, then I'm not gonna come and say that I got lucky on Monday. That's what most people do. I mean, I'll do it. I'll tell you when I get lucky. So we lost with that one. The one game we pushed on was Memphis -14 first half. We won by exactly 14, and the line actually went to 16. So there was some closing line value on that, and that's what these people like to talk about. You bet a line before it moves, and they get that closing line value. I bet a line that I see and I like. And whatever happens after that, I don't give a damn. I don't care if the line moves. I don't care if it moves in my favor. I don't care if it moves in the other way. I bet what I bet, and whatever happens is not going to determine my success, okay? And that's the way I feel about it. Texas -24 first half. We took an L with that. That wasn't even close, and they were up. Whoever that was that they played, Mississippi State or whatever they played them tough. That was our first SEC game, and I just thought Arch, I thought he was going to keep rolling like he had been the last couple of games, but he played that first SEC game, and they were ready for him. So we lost that. We lost Auburn. We lost Alabama and Georgia under 24 first half. That was a shootout, and in Alabama, it was 30-7. What was it at the half? I mean, so Alabama did their job defensively. Georgia, they didn't do their job. And I was real disappointed in the 70-yard plays, like 2 of them in the first half. And these just long bombs and all these long runs. And like, Georgia, where's the defense? That's not Georgia defense, SEC defense. So I was partially right. Like I said, Alabama did their job. They held them to 7. But Georgia, I mean, we're under 24. I mean, can we get a 17-7? I mean, they got the over by themselves, giving up 30 points in the first half. I mean, you got no shot. So we took the L. But for all the closing line value enthusiasts, the games that we lost, we got closing line value on. And like I said, Louisville +6.5, we lose by 7. Duke -2.5, we win by 1. That Stanford should have went over, and through all of that, we're still 7-7. This is pregame, and we were 5-2 on the second half. So 12-9 overall. We still had a winning week despite all of that. So I opened up the playbook last week, sent out 15 plays. We got about 13 close. We got a nice full plate this week. And I want a nice thick sample size at the end of the year with pregame and second half, and just a nice full sample size. I see like some of these paid services, they're charging $2,000. They were $2,500, $3,000, and they were giving out like 70 plays. This was a couple of years ago I saw. And I'm like, 70 plays? That's like what, 5 plays a week? 6 plays a week? And then, there's always going to be some genius out there who's going to say, if you do 55%, they're going to say, well, anybody can do 55 and 45. Let me see a bigger sample. Okay, well, I'm going to give you a bigger sample. I'm going to try to get 250 sample size for the season. And that's going to be a nice plate of everything, second half and everything. And we're going to get it above 55%, hopefully. And it's going to be a nice fat resume. So with that, let's go over the record. So through I posted this on Twitter. So I'm posting these plays on Telegram. I'm posting it on YouTube and Twitter. So that's 3 places. And YouTube and Telegram, they have timestamps that can be edited on the time that I post these plays. So if you ever want to verify the accuracy of what I'm putting out there, you got 3 sources, okay? YouTube, Twitter, and Telegram, okay? So here's what we are for the season through 5 weeks. Pre-game, we're 19, 20, and 1. That's pre-game. Second half, we're 13 and 6. So overall, we're 32, 26, and 1 for 55.17%. And the strong plays are 14, 8, and 1 for 63.63%. And as I told you earlier, the very first week, I told you when I put strong next to the play in parentheses, you should be betting more on those plays, maybe 2 units instead of 1, because if you flat bet and you bet the same amount on every game, you're just gonna be leaving money on the table. So I mean, I'm not gonna tell you how much to bet. I mean, you're probably Kelly staking. You have the answer to that. But when I put strong, those plays are extraordinary plays, better than the regular plays, and it shows. 14, 8, and 1 for 63% so far. So let's get into this week. So the first game we're taking is Vanderbilt. Now Christopher is down to 21.5. This line opened up at 24. And there's some 22s and 22.5s out there. I saw 23.5 somewhere, I think. But I'm going with the sharp number, and that's 21.5. Vanderbilt, they're playing Alabama. Obviously, Alabama's coming off of that game. There's going to be some layover from that game last week, okay? That's a fact. And this is not the same Vanderbilt team. This is a different type of Vanderbilt team. I mean, not saying they're world beaters, and they're going to be up there contending with Alabama and Georgia, but to stay within this number and to be at home, and for Alabama to come off of that, I mean, we got all of the factors pointing to us on this game right here. And so, yeah, we definitely, I like Vanderbilt plus 21.5, and that's a strong play. Book it. Don't be surprised if this game gets under 3 touchdowns by game time. I'm talking about we still got it good while it's on the other side of 21. So let's go ahead and snag that real quick. The next game is Boise State. Now this is it's Tuesday. I mean, I'm out of the country, so I'm a lot of hours ahead. I'm gonna figure out what time it is over there. It's 11 o'clock over there, Pacific time, right now. Tuesday night, right? So I have some first half plays. The first half lines are not going to be up until the morning. I have a pretty good idea of what the line is going to be, okay? So, as a matter of fact, what I'm giving you now, you're going to probably get better lines in the morning. So I don't want some smart ass, they like, people giving out stuff that doesn't exist and numbers. Hey, I'm giving out these numbers. They don't exist right now. They will exist in the morning. I'm giving them out to give people a head start and to come out early. That's why. And because I got to start studying NFL tomorrow. That's why I want to go and get this out of the way so I can study my NFL tomorrow and throughout the week. And so that's why. So, for example, Boise State, I want to give out a play on the first half. They're giving out 26 and a half for the game. I can tell you right now that this first half line is not going to be half, okay? They're not going to give you half of the line, okay? So 26, it's going to be 13. Nah, they're not going to do that. This line's going to be 16 and a half first half for Boise. And that's what the odds makers going to put out there. And so that's what we're going to take. And that's a strong play for them to roll Utah State in the first half, to be up 3 touchdowns at least in the first half, to roll Utah State. And that's a strong play. 16 and a half. You could get a 16, maybe even a 15 and a half in the morning. I doubt it, but that number won't be more than 16 and a half. But we're going to say 16 and a half, and that's a strong play. Next play is California playing Miami. Miami came off a tough game. They got to fly all the way across country. That's a long plane ride from Miami to Cal, Berkeley. It's a long plane ride, and Cal is at home, and this is going to be their Super Bowl. They got the U coming. And that quarterback Mendoza, he's got a pulse, and he'll be ready to go. This number opened at 12. It went down to 10. Now it's back up to 10 and a half, which is a lot better than 10. So we'll take the 10 and a half with Cal at home, and that's a strong play. California plus 10 and a half. Next play is Missouri. They're playing Texas A&M. Like I said, this is a first half play. If you know me by now, when I bet unders, I primarily bet them first half because the overtime factor and the funny stuff that can happen at the end of a game in college, especially in college, more than the NFL. So when I bet unders, primarily I'm a first half guy. So Missouri, they have a good defense. They're playing Texas A&M. That quarterback was banged up. It's going to be a grind. This is going to be a filling each other out game in the first half, especially with Missouri being on the road. So this was 48 and a half for the game, right? So the first half is going to be 24 and a half, maybe 24 and a half, I say. So we're going to go under 24 and a half for the first half for Missouri. Another first half bet, Michigan is on the road playing Washington, 41 for the game. This is going to be a grind game again. Both of these teams, good defenses. Michigan is not going to go on the road and be any world beaters. This is going to be a filling out game. It's going to be a piglet fight in the first half. So first half, 41 and a half for the game is the total. The first half will be 21. No less than 21. Maybe 21 and a half if they are a little bit generous, but I say 21. So we're going under 21 in the first half. Michigan, under 21 in the first half, and that's a strong play. Another first half bet. Oregon, they're playing at home. They're giving up 24 points. So 24 points at home, you'll be favored by 14 at the half. So Oregon minus 14 at the half. Somebody can be a little nasty and open this up at 14 and a half, first half for Oregon. That's probably what's going to happen. So let's change that. We'll lay the 14 and a half. Oregon's minus 14 and a half first half. It'll probably be 14, but we'll say 14 and a half. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. Book it. Oregon minus 14 and a half first half. Next game is Tennessee. They're this is another first half bet. They'll be -7 in the first half. There's 13.5 for the game. It won't be no more than 7. Usually in a spot like this, you'll never see a team 13.5 for the game and 7 in the hook for the first half. You won't see that. You'll see a 14 for the game and a 7 in the hook, but not at 13.5. So if this number goes to 14 or crosses 14, you could get a 7.5 later in the week. But to open in the morning tomorrow, no. You get a 7 for Tennessee first half. So that's a bet, and that's a strong play for them to keep rolling and to roll Arkansas -7 in the first half. Next game is Indiana over 41.5 playing Northwestern. This game opened at 42. Northwestern, they're the piglets of all piglet, and they like to play the piglet ball. And they had a 5-point game. They played Washington, I think, and they scored 5 points. And they like to play slow and hand the ball off. And hey, I think Indiana might get 42 by themselves. And Northwestern, they're at home. I mean, they can't put up a donut at home. I mean, they could. They're Northwestern. They can do anything like that. But, they should be good for at least 10 points at home. And I'm kind of sticking my neck out with this one. It could be a 20-7 game like that. I mean, even 30-10, that's still under. That could easily be a score, but they should score. They should be up to play Indiana, and they should have enough, and Indiana should have enough to get the over in this. Next game is Kansas over. Kind of missed the boat, over 51 -05 at Christopher. So you can definitely get a better number. Kansas playing Arizona State. The line opened at 49.5, and it just went over. It creeped up a little bit to 51 last couple of days, last day or so. And so we're still going to play them over 51. You like both teams to be able to get that number. Next game is Ohio State. They're playing Iowa at home. This is the first half play. Now, this game opened at 21. It's down to 20. It's the first half play. They're not going to give you 10 on the first half, okay? It's going to be more like Ohio State 12.5 first half. That's about right. That's what they're going to do, 12.5. So I'm giving out 12.5 first half for Iowa State. They'll probably open up 12, maybe even 11.5. If this number gets bet down more, the full game number, I mean, if that number gets bet down to 19.5, you'll definitely see 11.5 or 11 first half. But I'm going to be conservative and go with 12.5 first half. And this should be a first half game. This should be a first half game for Ohio State. But the full game could be a little bit closer than that. Next game we're going to play is Army -11.5, and that's a strong play. And they're going to steamroll Tulsa. These service academies, they got some strong teams this year, except for Air Force. They got enough. They're going to steamroll. I can't really go into this game like I really want to right now, but they're going to beat Tulsa. And that's a strong play, 11.5. Next play is Georgia, 14 first half. This is a first half play. They're playing Auburn, 24 for the game. There'll be 14 for the first half. Could be a little bit nasty and see a 14.5, but I doubt it. So I took the worst number on the other play. I took 14.5 on Oregon, so I'm going to take 14 on this one. Because it should be 14, I just took 14.5 just in case it moved like that. But we'll get a 14 on this Georgia first half. And that's a strong play for them to be at home and to bounce back after that game last week. And you got Auburn which this kind of used to be a little rivalry, but Auburn is not what they used to, and it's the perfect spot for Georgia to come in and come back angry and get the win after what happened last week in the first half. And the last place, Tennessee, 13.5. We're going to take them full game, too, to keep steamrolling and keep doing what they do. And they're just going to wear Arkansas down. They're just going to wear them down. Based on what I've seen so far, they're not going to have enough. So let's grab this number now while it's inside of 2 touchdowns. And don't be surprised if this number goes to 14 by the end of the week. So let's quickly recap. We got Vanderbilt plus 21.5. That's a strong play. Boise minus 16.5 first half. That's a strong play. California plus 10.5. That's a strong play. Missouri under 24.5 first half. Michigan under 21 first half. That's a strong play. Oregon minus 14.5 first half. Tennessee minus 7 first half. Strong play. Indiana over 41.5. Kansas over 51 minus 0.5. Ohio State minus 12.5 first half. Army minus 11.5 whole game. That's a strong play. Georgia minus 14 first half. That's a strong play. Tennessee minus 13.5 whole game. That's a strong play. So you got quite a few strong plays this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, eight strong plays out of the 13. So a couple games that I left off. UCLA, they're playing Penn State. Penn State, they got SC next week. So they could be looking ahead to that game. But, it's kind of hard to do anything with UCLA right now. To take the 20, there's 27.5, there's probably some 28s, 4 touchdowns. Now, Garbers, last week, I saw him out of the game. I don't know if that's a change. I got to go back and see that game. I don't know if that's a permanent change or they just did that for garbage time. But they need to do something over there. He's been very disappointing, that Garbers. I don't know what they're doing over there at UCLA, but they're not doing much. But with Penn State having SC the following week, and I said, well, they kind of could be looking ahead, and UCLA, I mean, it's kind of guessing. So I'm not going to put any faith in UCLA, but don't be surprised if they cover that number. But we're not going to bet it. I left it off. Next game I left off was Virginia first half. They're playing Boston College. The total opened at 51, I saw. It went down to 50. Now it's shot back up to 53, and that's because Costello, the quarterback for Boston College, he participated in practice, so they anticipated him playing, and that's why the total went up. Now, even with him playing, I believe they're going to work him in first half, and Virginia, they're going to kind of play a little bit slow. But that total jumping 3 points like that was enough to kind of knock me off of the game. So I usually don't let moves knock me off of the games. I like what I like. And if there's a move and I still like it, I'll bet more. But, yeah, this one is kind of iffy. And 24 in the first half, 24 in the half first half, that was conservative because the total for the game was 50. So they usually don't give you a 25. It'll be 24 and a half they give you. So that's why. But we're not going to bet it. So that was a play, the Virginia Boston College under 24 and a half first half, but we're not going to play it now. Another play that I kind of left off, UNLV Syracuse over 58 and a half. This number went to 59 and a half, and now it's back down to 57 and a half is what I saw. There should be plenty of points in this game. I suspect somebody's trying to dummy this game. There could easily be 60, 70 points in this game. I mean, UNLV at home too. But maybe Syracuse can come and lay an egg and try to slow the game down. Or maybe somebody's trying to dummy this game. I see plenty of points in this game, but maybe Syracuse could come in and try to slow the game down, possibly, based on what UNLV did last week, and they don't want to get into a shootout. But I still like the over in this game, but not enough to bet it, so that's a game that I left off. So, and let's quickly recap the record. Pre-game, 19-20-1, 48.71%. That's nothing to brag about, but it's still very early. We can pick that up. Second half bets are very strong, 13-6. That's 68.42%. And so overall, that's pregame and the second half. That's 32-26-1, and that's for 55.17%. And out of that record, 23 of those bets are strong bets, and there's 14-8-1 for 63%. So those are all stellar numbers. I mean, numbers that, except for, I mean, with the exception of pregame, which is, like I said, it's still early, stellar numbers that anybody, any syndicate group would love to have. 55%, 68%, 63%. All small sample size too, obviously, so I gotta keep it up. So we're doing good. We're doing good so far, and we're positive. We're plus 3.31 units on the money line tickets, and I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do. I'm going to try to go a whole season betting nothing but money line tickets and being profitable. So those I got videos for those two. It's another bucket. So let's go out and get them. I'm going to be more aggressive with the second half bets. So keep your head on a swivel for the second half bets throughout the day. And let's keep up the good work. So there's your Week 6 college football pregame show. Good luck, everybody.